Faced to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Italian cooperation is multiplying its efforts to prevent and respond to humanitarian emergencies. It is crucial, especially in the African context, to tackle climate change, strengthen the health sector and support the private sector with an approach aimed at fostering the socio-economic inclusion of women and youth. This will allow us to fully implement the humanitarian development peace nexus approach by reducing vulnerabilities in the long term and define common objectives between all actors involved in international cooperation. We will mostly concentrate on disaster risk reduction, sustainable agriculture and food security. Italy has a consolidated experience in these areas. By guaranteeing access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food for the most vulnerable population, we can also generate positive impact in terms of creation of jobs and empowerment of women, which are crucial actors in the agricultural sector, particularly hit by the social and economic consequences of the pandemic. We are implementing a multi-level strategy to promote investments in Africa and create long-term business opportunities. I firmly believe that Africa is both a big challenge and an opportunity for our companies, a big opportunity. For instance, agro-industry sector still has a large productivity gap, 60% lower than the world average, due to the lack of technology, to the shortages in storage and distribution, and to the poor diversification. At the same time, Africa has the largest availability of unplanted and arable lands. There is room to perform large-scale investments in other strategic domains, such as renewables and constructions. Demand for reliable energy sources and solid infrastructures continues to grow as the population shifts from rural to urban areas. New estimates by the African Development Bank suggest that the continent's infrastructure needs amount to $170 billion a year, with a financing gap in the range of $108 billion a year. In this scenario, the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation is committed, together with the Italian Trade Agency and Cassa Depositi e Prestiti, to support our companies to invest and expand their operations in Africa. Firstly, our diplomatic network can provide institutional support to our companies and professionals aimed at facilitating contacts between investors. This is why we periodically organize business missions or events aimed at further fostering our industrial partnership with African countries. We count on organizing soon new missions with Italian companies to those African countries with the biggest potential untapped for our investments. Notwithstanding the pandemic, we shifted to digital instruments in the organization of workshops and seminars. These are an ideal occasion to display investment opportunities in Africa. Last June, our embassy in Khartoum, for example, organized a webinar to present investment opportunities in the new Sudan, a country that is undergoing historical changes and could become a very interesting market for our companies. Secondly, we are reinforcing the existing financial instruments aimed at supporting Italian companies. We therefore work closely with our export and credit agencies, SACE, to develop instruments that can fit the needs of Italian SMEs wishing to invest in Africa. Thirdly, the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation wants to increase Italian companies' involvement in multilateral tenders, with special regard to those promoted by development banks such as the World Bank and the African Development Bank. This is why the Italian Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation hosted several events aimed at increasing Italian companies' awareness on the opportunities offered by these institutions in different sectors. Moreover, we hosted an event an event on the new external investment plan in Africa and in the Mediterranean, in order to promote a fruitful discussion on the role of development cooperation. Last but not least, we keep supporting initiatives aimed at creating a positive business environment for our companies through education and training of young African entrepreneurs. Let me recall the important projects carried out by the Italian Trade Agency. The first is Lab Innova for Africa, and the second is Africa Business Lab. Lab Innova is an education program in the agro-business sector aimed at helping African companies to enter the European Union market while favoring the new industrial partnerships with Italian companies in particular. Africa Business Lab is an initiative addressed to Italian companies in particular to widen their knowledge about the public toolkit to operate in Africa and create new bridges between Italia and African entrepreneurs. The Team Europe approach pays particular attention to Africa. The European Commission and Member States recognize the crucial importance of supporting our African partners in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic and its devastating consequences. No one is safe until everyone is safe, and only a partnership of equals may help tackling this issue effectively. For this reason, Africa is one of the main beneficiaries of the Team Europe package. Together, I mean the European Commission and the Member States, we committed €4 billion grants and around €3 billion of guarantees for the African continent. Thanks to these resources, Team Europe addresses the shattering effect of the COVID-19 crisis in three key sectors: strengthening health, water and sanitation, mitigating social and economic consequences, providing emergency response to humanitarian needs. As incoming G20 presidency, we are aware of the responsibility that Italy will have next year in leading multilateral efforts. We are living in times of uncertainty, characterized by a number of challenges. In tackling all the most pressing international issues, we will focus on the impact of the crisis on the most vulnerable countries, above all in the African continent. In this spirit, Italy joined the G20 debt service suspension initiative, which some African countries are already benefiting from. Italy has favored and actively contributed to the agreement on the initiative's extension by further 6 months. We are also looking forward to further initiatives that can ensure growth and sustainability, such as the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which might boost intra-Africa development. Moreover, we believe that financing for development and the Addis Ababa Action Agenda are paramount to promote a sustainable future beyond COVID-19. We must strengthen all our financial tools, maximize the impact, and ensure that our investments and policies leave no one behind. Italy has always dedicated special attention to Africa. The cooperation with this continent will be a key focus also under our G20 presidency next year. Africa is, and always will be, a priority for Italy.